Have you ever been caught in that strange place where someone rejects you, yet somehow keeps you close enough to feel like you still have a chance? It's one of the most confusing positions to be in, because on one hand, they've given you a clear no, but on the other, their actions keep saying maybe. That's exactly where Alex found himself. He liked this girl, spent weeks building a connection, late night talks, playful banter, memes that only the two of them understood. He finally gathered the courage to lay it all out, to tell her how he really felt. She listened, smiled, and said she didn't feel the same way. It should have ended there. But it didn't. She kept messaging him, laughing at his jokes, complimenting him and making comments about how lucky his future girlfriend would be. Alex was left wondering, what's really going on here? Was she secretly interested? Was she unsure? Or was she just keeping him around for the attention?
Ow.
The truth is, mixed signals aren't always a calculated move to mess with you. Sometimes, the other person genuinely doesn't know what they want. They like the comfort, the validation, the closeness, but they're not ready to commit to anything deeper. This keeps you stuck in emotional limbo because part of you still believes they'll come around. But here's the thing. The longer you stay in that place, the harder it becomes to see the situation for what it truly is. I start questioning yourself. Instead of questioning their behavior, recognizing the game, intentional or not, is the first step to breaking free. Because once you see it clearly, you understand you're not losing a potential relationship. You're freeing yourself from a cycle that is never going to give you the clarity you deserve. When someone is feeding you mixed signals, the smartest thing you can do isn't to push harder for answers. It's to step back. This isn't about revenge, punishment, or trying to make them miss you. It's about creating the space needed for both of you to see things for what they really are. There's a psychological principle called the scarcity effect. People tend to value what's rare or what they might lose. When you're always there, always available, they can take your presence for granted without even realizing it. But when you remove yourself from their constant reach, something shifts. They're forced to confront your absence and consider what you actually mean to them. For Alex, this meant no more replying to every late-night text, no more initiating conversations just to keep her attention, and no more lingering around waiting for her to decide. At first, she didn't seem to notice her life went on as usual, but over time, the absence became harder to ignore. After a couple of weeks, she started reaching out more, asking if he was okay, and even inviting him to hang out. That's the power of creating space that changes the dynamic. Suddenly, they have to decide whether they truly want you in their life or not. And more importantly, it gives you the mental clarity to see if this connection is worth continuing at all. By stepping back, you stop living in their uncertainty and start reclaiming control over your own emotions. You begin to see that your value isn't determined by how much access you give someone, it's determined by the boundaries you set and the respect you demand for your own time and energy. Pulling back from someone doesn't mean you have to vanish overnight or slam the door in their face. It's not about ghosting or playing petty games. It's about taking deliberate, controlled steps to protect your dignity and shift the balance of the relationship back in your favor. The first step is to limit interactions. If you see them regularly at work, school, or within your social circle, there's no need to avoid them completely. Just keep your exchanges polite, short, and surface level. You're not here to entertain them or feed their curiosity anymore. Not the second step is to pause unnecessary communication. Texts, calls, likes on social media, all these little points of contact, keep them in your orbit and give them control over your attention. If they send a casual hey or a random meme, resist the urge to reply immediately or at all. Not responding to low-effort interactions. You're sending a clear message. Your attention has value. It won't be given freely to someone who's unsure about you. The third step is to decline invitations gracefully. If they invite you out, you don't have to make excuses or over-explain. Just say, I'm busy, or maybe another time. Keep it casual and neutral. The point is to show, through your actions, that your life isn't built around them. Think of this process like pruning a plant. You're not destroying the connection outright. You're trimming away the parts that drain your energy without giving anything back. This allows space for the relationship to grow in a healthy direction if it's meant to, or to fade away if it's not. Either way, you're no longer stuck waiting for someone else to decide your worth. You're deciding it for yourself. The reason stepping back works so effectively isn't luck, it's psychology. People value what they fear losing. Think about it. If there's an endless supply of something, we tend to overlook it. But the second we hear it's running out, suddenly it becomes precious. Relationships work the same way. When you're always available, always responding, always there to meet their emotional needs, they have no reason to appreciate what they have. But when you pull back, they feel the difference immediately. That absence becomes a mirror, forcing them to see the space you once filled and to consider whether they truly want you in their life. The second principle is mystery. Mystery has been magnetic for as long as humans have been interacting. Cleopatra wasn't remembered for simply being present. She captivated Julius Caesar and Mark Antony because she never revealed everything about herself. She kept them guessing, always curious, always chasing. When you pull back, you introduce that same element of intrigue. Suddenly, they don't know what you're doing, who you're with, or where your attention is going. That gap in knowledge sparks curiosity. Curiosity fuels attraction. The more they don't know, the more they start to imagine. And in their imagination, they often create a version of you that's even more appealing than reality. From being ordinary, predictable, and constantly available to rare, intriguing, and worth pursuing. The key here isn't to fake mystery-ites, to genuinely focus on your own life, your own goals, and your own happiness when you live for yourself. Instead of for their validation, you naturally become more interesting. And if they don't respond to your absence or your new energy, that's the clearest answer you'll ever get one. It frees you from wasting another moment in uncertainty. When you pull back the right way, there's a high chance they'll eventually reach out. A critical part is what you do when that moment comes. This is where most people break the frame. They get overly excited, respond instantly, and pour out everything they've been holding in. That completely erases the power of the space you created. Instead, you need to stay calm and act like you've been here before. If they ask, "Where have you been?" keep it casual. Just been busy with a few things. No over-explaining, no long speeches about how you felt while they were gone. By keeping it short and nonchalant, you maintain control of the interaction and preserve your newfound value. Shift the focus away from yourself and onto them. Ask, "What's new with you?" Or "How have you been?" It shows you're engaged in the conversation without giving away that you've been waiting for it. Then pay attention to the quality of their responses. Are they putting in effort, asking about your life, or hinting at spending time together? Or are they just making small talk to keep you around again? These details will tell you if their interest is genuine or just another round of mixed signals. The key is to remember, you're no longer chasing. You've already proven that you can step back and live without them. Now, you're in the position of choice. If they're truly interested, their actions will show it. If they're not, you've already built the mindset and boundaries to walk away. This isn't about making them regret losing you. It's about making sure you never lose yourself in the process. When you hold your frame and protect your value, people either rise to meet your standards or fade out of your life. Either way, you win.